Can I tell you a secret? I just woke up this morning and this idea popped into my head out of nowhere. So if you're here, this video might be made just for you. What are your deepest desires? Are you scared to write them down? Even think about them? Most of us know the benefits of journaling to tap into our deepest thoughts and feelings and get them out into the open air where they can heal. We know the benefits of art, expressing our truest self. And then there's the benefits of affirmations, which is reinforcing something that you want over and over. So why not combine all three of them together? Aha! Let's do it. We're going to start by just grabbing a lined notebook that you can jot down your affirmations in, or a composition notebook. That's what we're going to be using today. If you'd like to learn more about turning a composition notebook into an art journal, check out this video right there where I describe it in detail. Now, because it's springtime, I wanted to do an Easter egg kind of vibe for this page, and I thought it would be really fun to write down my affirmations as little Easter eggs, and then I'm going to hide them on the page, cover them up like you would an Easter egg. So I wrote my affirmations in a way that I can tear the paper out around them, so that I have enough space to make each one look like a little egg when I'm done.
Now it's your turn. Keep in mind that these desires are going to be cut out and put on a page, so they have to be kind of brief, 1 to 2 words. I like to start this process by closing my eyes, taking some nice deep breaths, and really feeling the surface that I'm sitting or laying on and grounding into that energy, and then tuning in to my soul's desires, what my intuition is trying to tell me. For a lot of us, this isn't going to be an easy process at first because we're not used to listening to this still small voice. But with patience, you will begin to hear it. So take a few moments to write down your desires now. Okay, so now we are ready to add our affirmations to our notebook. This is the notebook that I was preparing earlier, and as you can see, you can do different colored acrylic paint. You really want to give it more time to dry than I gave it. You can do all different colors. It's a really great, fun technique. Do I have any pencils? Do I have any pencils up here? Don't think I brought my pencils up here. So what I want to do is I want to put an affirmation down, and then I'm going to be making layers over the top of that. So I've added some affirmations to the page, and then we're going to be making a layer over the top of this. So I have my little Easter eggs here. These were my affirmations on Easter eggs. If you are depressed and can't summon the energy to even write up words onto paper and tear them out, believe me, I've been there. I feel you, girl. Then you can just write them directly onto the page and cover them up. That will work just as well. Struggle. Oh, shinola. Whoops-a-doodle. This is how we do it in the real world. Art gets messy, folks. This is why you wear your art making clothes. So what I'm going to do, now you could even do these upside down so they're really hidden, but I'm going to make a little bunch of them here. And you know, you could do like different colored paper if you wanted. That would be really fun as well. And as you're doing this, realize that you're creating a space for you to think about these things. Think about what you want. And by putting it down on paper, you know, research has shown that it really gets it into our brain in a different way. Note-taking gets things into your brain in a different way. So imagine if your notes were just little positive thoughts to yourself. And these are wishes, you know. I want more fun in my life. I want more joy. I want an absolutely perfectly healthy body. I want deeper connection in my relationships. So I'm making my little egg basket here. Creative spark. Now you can use all different kinds of paper scraps when you're art journaling. You can use old books. This is old paper bags. This is tea bags, like basically anything. This is like this was when we were moving to our new house. This was like our moving list, and I just turned it into collage paper. And you can also use scrapbooking paper like you get at the craft store. I got this at Joann. I just loved these vintage bikinis, vintage bathing suits. And because I'm going to be kind of like putting these wishes into my body, internalizing them, I'm going to be using some of this paper, so it has a double meaning. So now we're going to cover up these eggs. Now we're going to be covering up our eggs because everything that grows needs to be protected, right? Even those parts of you, they need to be protected. So we're going to protect your dreams and desires now and tuck them into a nice little basket of grass. What I'm going to be using is, this is just Royal Langnickel's Essentials Viridian Green. And I'm going to be mixing in a little bit of white because it's kind of like a dark bluish green. And I'm also going to be adding a little bit of white, and I'm going to be adding a little bit of yellow. It gives me this minty green. A little bit. More yellow to it so it's not so blue-green. Now I'm going to be using a really fun technique for applying the paint. You don't always need to use a brush, and I am going to be using a chapstick tube. So I'm dipping the chapstick tube into the paint, and then I'm going to be making little dots. And this is really relaxing. I don't know, it's kind of like stamping meets acrylic paint. I don't know, it's very fun and relaxing, for me anyway. But it's just another way to apply paint. If you're intimidated by the paintbrush, this was my big problem when I was first starting to paint. It kind of takes that stress away because you're not using a brush. I'm using a chopstick tube. So there's our first little layer of grass. And then I'm going to be adding some paper grass as well. I think that's going to be really fun. And I'm not going to clean my brush. I'm just going to apply a little bit of matte medium to the back. And acrylic paint is basically just matte medium with color added to it, pigment added to it. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that is the case. So it's basically just like a fixative with some pigment in it. It feels really good to tuck them in there. So basically, oops, when you're doing something like this, I talked about this in another video too, you're gonna know what's under there. You know what's underneath there. So you've kind of sealed them in. Protecting your dreams. Just like a seed needs to be in the soil so that it can grow, sometimes we need to be protective of our dreams and our desires, right? We all know that there's like certain people you just don't discuss things with, certain people in your life. Because things are fragile. You're fragile. Now with this one, I'm going to be a little careful because I don't want to make the whole thing green. Just a little kind of bit green. Just a tone. I'm really liking this. This is a great project for all ages. You could scale this down to little kids. Little kids would absolutely love something like this. But you can also use it for adult mental health. That's what I love about it. I like this. Just a little piece of happiness poking out there. Now, I think I'm going to need a little bunny to protect my eggs. And I'm just using a tea bag now. I'm gonna make a little bunny. This is a nice bunny. This is not like Donnie Darko. It's a helpful bunny. Where does the bunny want to be? He wants to be over here. Sorry, bunny. Getting a makeover. What do I always say? Where did I put it now? When in doubt, add yellow. So it's going to be kind of like a Peeps bunny. And now I'm just using the same brush, but I want to really make sure that I get the brush cleaned off this time. I don't want them to be kind of yellow and kind of green. Now I'm using just the yellow instead of matte medium. He's going to be a green tea bunny. He's so cute. What did I just say? He wanted to be green anyway. He's like, no, sorry lady, I'm going to be green. So you can go on and on with this process. You can just keep adding layers to it and adding things and drawing things in. This is like where it just gets fun, relaxing. Now I have a big, for me personally, this is what usually gets me down a rabbit hole with color mixing. But right now I have a big blob of this kind of like minty green on my palette. And I don't ever like to waste paint. So I can make a little bit of collage paper by just kind of like dragging or tapping this paper into there. Set it aside, make a little bit of collage paper. So I'm gonna do some of that. What I like to do is tie the two pages together. So I'm going to be adding some lemon yellow and some white. I'll be taking a slightly bigger brush. And get this buttercream yellow. Now I've connected the two pages together. There's one more thing that this needs. It's just calling out to me here. A little bit music. It wouldn't be spring without flowers. I'm not going to be able to do that part until it dries. Luckily this part is nice and dry. Just keep adding as your heart desires. And there you have it. A great way to incorporate affirmations into your art journal. Thanks so much for painting with me today. I hope to see you again really soon.